Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's probably evening or afternoon at this point for most people. But yes, welcome back to McRaeathon 2024, and welcome to the last run of the event. It is Driver You Are the Wheelman by the Survivor. So Survivor, whenever you're ready, take it away. Floor is yours.
Yeah, sure thing. Thank you very much. So hi. So yeah, once again, like it's been mentioned, I'm the Survivor. And yeah, this is gonna be Driver, you are the Wheelman, or just plain old Driver, or Driver 1, or pick whichever you prefer. It's the first game of the Driver series, basically. This is the OG PS1 version, and this is gonna be the any percent run. So the goal is just to beat the last mission of the game as quick as we can. Unsurprisingly, as all in any percent categories are. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. This is also, to be specific, this is on an emulator. This is obviously allowed by the rules, so this is specifically the any percent emulator run. We go with all the specifics. But yeah, this should be good fun. I got Viper, who's currently the world record holder, who's gonna be commenting with me. So we'll show you.
I'm being a dual person here, so I'm gonna be host and co-commentator to help out if needs be, but I'll leave it more up to you than.
Yeah, no worries. You kind of got roped into being a co-commentator at the last minute. To be fair. Anyway, I should be good to go. I'm sure I can yap about this game for quite a while. Well, everything should go right. So in that case, I guess we'll go ahead and get ready to start the timer and everything. So let's get here and get to the main menu. Actually, well, I guess we have to go through the loading screen first. Again, PlayStation 1 games. Yep. PlayStation 1 games, so expect loads. Okay, so there we go. So for one on the timer, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay!
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll need it. With this game, you do need some decent amount of luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I guess I can start with introducing myself a bit. Actually, wait, no. Before we do that, people are probably want to see the mission of this game. This thing! Infamous Garage Mission. The bane of any player of this game. Here you're gonna see how it goes when you do it quick.
It's interesting the route that you're doing compared to me, which I could probably immediately say. So, just as a quick one,
yeah.
There's a few ways of doing this. Again, it is personal preference how you finish. It's personal preference on how you finish the garage mission. Everyone has their own ways of doing it. A lot of people tend to go for the next one, the next thing, but it is a case of making sure everything goes well. But yeah, if you do it right, get it done less than the minute, and usually
that's what I got there.
For 40 seconds, maybe 30 seconds.
First split in 59 seconds, including load and everything. Yeah, I kind of just came up with that on the fly, honestly. I was like, oh, this looks efficient. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite tricky. You have a decent list of things to do, and if you don't know exactly what they mean by it, yeah, it could get weird quick. Like some of the stuff, like the slalom, is not exactly that you need to go back and forth. Okay, and so here's the next main thing about this game, lag management, because this game is pushing the PlayStation 1 kind of to its limit. Woo! So you end up kind of just looking at the walls a lot.
Yeah, so for some odd reason, why this was a thing, it was a case of game was built back in 1999, and Ubisoft was, Reflections,
yeah,
to be exact,
Ubisoft was a case of,
it was a case of, you know what GTA is missing? It's missing the perspective of a 3D town.
Yep.
And this was essentially, I think we've probably covered it during the Driver 2 run that you did at ESA, but this was back when Driver ruled and GTA was still... I mean, GTA was a thing at this point.
Yeah, quite big, but not as it is now.
Yeah. They basically was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could drive around a massive city? Not like a little level, but a huge city. And, you know, be able to have, like, police and buildings everywhere and stuff like that. And this was essentially how the Driver series got its start. it jumped on the fact that GTA wasn't in a 3D universe yet, and this is how we got there. It was a case of it started that way, and then funnily enough, when it got to Driver 3, it decided it would copy GTA.
Yeah, and then Paraline went very hard on that front. But yeah, this was back then when 3D racing game existed, but it was mostly like circuit racing and limited stuff. There was nothing that was true like open like this is. So it was pretty innovative, despite the frame rate. Like this game was quite popular.
The thing is, as well, is it just as a quick one to give a bit of a heads up. So, for those that don't know the story, the plot of Driver.
Oh yeah, I guess we should explain that.
We'll try and explain as we go. But the long story short is you play as a cop called John Tanner, who works for the Miami police force. He's never really given, but
I thought he's a New York police officer.
Sergeant, I think it is. Well, you play as John Tanner. He is the police officer.
Yeah, but I thought it was for New York and not Miami, and he goes for Miami for the job. I haven't seen this story in a while, so I may be wrong.
I could be wrong, then you could be right. Either way, he's a cop and he goes undercover. There you go.
Yeah, basically, you're undercover. That's an important bit.
Yeah. And basically, you get told by Sergeant Mackenzie, who's your boss, to hand your badge in. Obviously, Tanner reluctantly does it. He gives in his badge, and that's how we kick things off.
Yep.
And first things first, it's like, right, okay. He ends up looking for a job. Turns out there was a guy willing to give him a job, and
you do the interview.
You do the interview, which is where this comes from. Fun fact, for those that don't know, Drive 1 was heavily based off the 1978 film The Driver. There's an entire scene that involves... here's another one. Fun fact within a fun fact is in the driver, in the film The Driver from 1978, there is a part with the car park, and the car gets smashed to pieces, and it does a slalom, and it does handbrake turn, and all that, reverse 180. So that's where all that came from. But even better than that, the sound effect you hear when you smash into another car is also ripped directly from that film.
Yeah, just straight up from the movie.
So, yeah, for those that have never seen it, would highly recommend watching it. It's, the thing is, the plot of this game follows that film, not to a T, but, like, there's bits of that film's plot that are in this game. For example, there's nobody called Tico in the film, but that's, like, optional, because obviously a game can expand on this.
It's heavily inspired, let's put it that way.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in it. If you play Driver, or you play it all the way through, and then go and watch the Driver, or vice versa, whichever way around you want to do it, you'll quickly go, that's why
this is where it goes.
There, and that's where. Yeah. So for those that have never seen it, would highly recommend giving it a watch. It is an old film, with it being from 1978, but would highly recommend watching it.
My mind
was blown. My mind was completely blown when I first watched that film, and I was like, oh, this is where everything's from. Because my dad said, does this look familiar? And I went, no. And then I heard the sound effects of the car crash, and I was like, no, this is not what Driver's from. He's like, yeah, this is what Driver was based off. I was like, holy hell.
I'm gonna go here because of the cop. And unlike the game, in the movie, it doesn't end at the interview where you just mission fill in loop. There's actually stuff after in the movie.
Yeah, there's quite a lot in that film. Like I said, the thing is, Lots was just talking about the plot of the game, though. So obviously you've got Tanner's obviously doing his thing. He's doing jobs for people.
Trying to get up in the ranks, pretty much the usual.
Yeah, so he starts off doing little side jobs. So the first one was a bank job. This one is now involving a guy called Tico, who, unfortunately, we just said bye-bye to somebody off screen, but...
And he also doesn't walk quick, as you can tell. So we usually try to park the car as close as we can to the end of the station, because people don't walk quick in this game.
Yeah, it's like they just take the sweet-ass time, because, it's a video game. What else is there to say? Yeah, so you visit... so you start in Miami, that's where everything kicks off, and eventually you'll chase the gang to... San Francisco, to Los Angeles, and eventually to New York, where there is a major plot point, which we're not going to cover just yet. We'll cover that later. But for now, as you can see, the missions all follow into this story. And here's another fun fact for those that don't know. Driver actually branches off into multiple paths.
Yep,
so the route that we are taking, and what Survivor's taking, is the fastest possible route, but there is other ones out there.
I think according to Viper, I picked what he told me, so if this is wrong, blame him. But yeah, unlike Driver 2, which I'm completely in full transparency, that's my main game usually at speedrun. Whoa, okay, I guess that's his lane. Unlike in Driver 2, this has multiple paths, so it's not just like mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. You actually need to pick some specific mission. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. That's why. So you do need to actually go through a specific route, because some missions are much quicker than others. And like significantly quicker at that. Like it's quite a difference. So yeah, there's an actual pattern. I actually have my split screen running because I actually need to know where I'm going, because there's no way I would remember. There's a lot of options. It usually is when you see me go to like the recorder and pick like a message. This is how you select a mission basically in this game. All right, again, park myself close because I don't want to slide too much in the grass.
One thing is that. What I will just quickly mention, which might be a key point, is because this was the 90s, you had region differences. And
oh yeah.
The fun fact is that so there's several versions of Driver. There's the PC version, the PS1 version, the
iOS
talk about
the PC version.
Multiple versions, but to cover the PS1 version, which we're currently on, there's 3 different region versions of this game. There is the NTSC, the PAL version, and the Japanese release.
Yeah, like any PlayStation 1 game, really. Or any games, really.
In each version, there is something different about the game. So, for example, the NTSC version has the best frame rate and things like that. So that it has the best frame rate. And
this is bad.
Your best bet of beating it somewhat. So obviously you've got faster loads, better frame rate. So the game can be beaten faster with the NTSC version. It is
relative though, I will warn. Like it is relatively quicker, but it still lags a decent amount. And does slow you down, because in this game lags means just the game slows down straight up.
PAL version, as per usual, is the one that falls behind, but the Japanese release has an interesting trick up its sleeve. Because in the Japanese release, that is the only version where you can deliberately fail the interview and still move on to the rest of the game.
Nice.
So if you didn't... Now, in terms of if it makes the run any faster, I've not really looked into this too much, but I've always had... Whenever I've run the Japanese version, I've always found it to be slightly slower. But for those that struggled, if you play the Japanese release of this game, you'll be able to skip that intro mission and actually play the rest of the game. Isn't that nice?
Because the complaints got to them.
Oh yeah. They probably actually beat the game, unlike most of us in America and in the Europe and stuff.
Yeah, they saw there's something else after the interview. It's cool.
Well, that's the thing. They actually got more. They got further than us. I will just say as well, real quick, is another interesting change is in some missions the time limits are different.
Oh,
so,
okay.
For example, Superfly Drive is actually one of the biggest examples of this.
Yeah, we'll get to it once we get there, but it's bad.
Yeah, it's a bad mission. I'll let you talk about that when we get to it. But the long story short with that one is, in the North American release, you get 2 minutes 45, I believe. But in the PAL version, it's 2 minutes 40. Altogether.
Oh wow!
You get 5 seconds less in the PAL. And the Japanese release is somewhere in the middle at like 2 minutes 42 seconds or something.
Oh, okay. So it's not as bad as I thought.
But that's probably the reason why another reason why the PAL version would have been more difficult. There are quite a few difficult missions. A lot of them are in Miami.
Yeah, funnily enough, the first city is has quite a lot of hard stuff. I don't trust you. Although I didn't mean to stop that much, but sure. Another thing about this game that applies for more in general. Obviously, I've been quite lucky currently, and this run has been going very smoothly because I just got to the destination with no cops and ended there. But that's just chance. This game, unlike Driver 2, doesn't really have a save zone system for most of the missions. So if you reach a destination with the cops still on you, the game will ask you to lose them, but the game won't actually force the cops to slow down or lose you. So you actually need to destroy them or do something to lose them. manually, unlike Driver 2, where you kind of just drive to the end and the car will artificially slow down just so you can. Oh, whoops! I bounced on the side.
Yeah, it can be very annoying when you've got to the end of a mission and the cop just doesn't want to disappear.
Yeah, we might have hit the arrow. It's maybe
the other thing is as well, I think this is something that's also in Driver 2, but this game has missions with multiple parts, and your damage doesn't go down when you go between parts. So if you tolerate a lot of damage in the first part, you're going to struggle later on. So driving carefully and not getting much damage is quite key to later parts of missions.
Yeah, this game has many more multi-parters compared to Driver 2. Driver 2 does it twice. Only that's it. This game uses it way more. I mean, no, we haven't seen it yet. That's happened. Well, we'll see it now. Actually,
we got to see it now.
Yeah, that's a good time to show it. And it's a bit how Driver 2 does it, because every time it happens in Driver 2, it's always after takedown missions. But in this game, it's straight up. It can be just like A to B, and then another A to B, and then another B to B. Okay, which pattern is this? It's. Oh, I think this may be the truly bad one. Oh, maybe not.
This is another thing. The chase patterns are a bit random. They're not that randomized, but they can be.
Oh, this was pretty spot on.
This is actually something that was really good in Driver 1 than Driver 2, I thought, which was the fact you could easily grind cars down.
Yeah, the damage is.
And grind the damage right up.
It's much smoother, I guess I would say. In Driver 2, it's much more like sectioned off. Like it goes, alright, here's a chunk of damage. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. It's like every second. In this game, it actually like goes like smoothly. Again, it's kind of hard to explain, but and the physics, the weights are a bit like easier. Like in Driver 2, like if you like smack against a car that has infinite mass, you get smacked way further. In this game, you can much more easily just like glide against another one. Like in Driver 2, you need to be a bit more like smoother to nudge the car again.
So one of the things we'll just quickly mention as well, just to mention about where we are in the plot. So we've dealt with the little mini jobs. We've dealt with robbing a bank. We've helped a guy called Tico, and we got contacted by a guy called Rufus. Rufus has actually asked us, can we break out this French guy called Jean-Paul?
Yeah, Jean-Paul. Yeah, Jean-Paul. I have the mission name right here, so.
There you go. At least you can pronounce it right. I can't.
Yeah, it's a French name. I guess fair enough.
But we busted him out, and now we've got to get him back to the hideout. And it turns out that he's going to spill some information to us, and basically, yeah, this is how the plot moves forward. But there is a few things to mention. We mentioned briefly before about.
Can I point something out quickly about the mission?
Yeah, go for it.
On the one thing about this mission is it's actually pretty hard. The timer is a fixed timer for the second part of the mission, so you kind of can end up in case where you kind of just have barely enough time to get there. As you can see, like I'm only have 30 seconds left. I'm here. I'm going to go all the way there just to lose the car instead of destroying him. Okay, maybe that ain't gonna work. Okay, never mind. I'm good. Oh well, I lost him as I turn around. Ah, I missed him. Okay.
There it is.
I'm getting low on time. Can you? So this is the RNG part that gets annoying, as you can tell. But yeah, like the timer doesn't adjust them depending on where you kill them. So if you kill it early, like I did, you have the same time limit to get all the way over there. It's a bit rough sometimes.
Oh, with that mission done and dusted, we now move on to another
the worst
mission,
one.
The worst one. This is the Superfly Drive.
Yep. Oh.
Just to briefly explain this mission.
It's hell.
You get put with the fastest car in Miami. I think it's the fastest car in the game, actually.
Yeah, it is straight up.
And to cut a long story short, you've got to get from one side of Miami to the other. Except there's one big problem. This car is extremely fragile.
Yep.
So if you hit a car slightly, it can go up and up.
A front end collision is an insta kill. I tried it yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. There are a few risky ways of doing this mission, but I don't
we're not doing that. Hell no. Whoa. Okay. The idea of this mission is that this is like a clean muscle car that you need to take to one place. Unfortunately, they couldn't really do a way to like have you only keep the car under like 20%, 30%, 40% damage. So they just made it the car extremely weak to compensate. And yeah, the timer is very strict. The car is very weak. The cops will spawn at the end and screw you over. It's very hard. Like, this mission can go bad in many ways.
Yeah, this is the one that always gets me, as we were saying before about being Survivor, like, this is the one mission that I think every driver speedrunner, or anyone who's done Driver 1, will be probably scared to crap themselves.
Ooh! Oh, this is bad.
Getting this first try is very difficult. And the thing is, as well, is that the cops need to be shaken off. You need to make sure they don't spawn. And again, this is the one thing we mentioned. A lot of this run is relying heavily on cops not spawning, and this one is the worst one.
Yeah, because the timer is so strict.
Right near the end, you literally need to bomb it from one to the end, and that's it.
Another thing, again, like you saw me in the previous mission, like, oh, I had to lose a cop, I was too close, I kind of just rubbed my car against the cop and took it down. I can't do that with this car, not anymore, because I took some damage. I could do it if my car was healthy, but that ship has sailed, unfortunately, because I got nicked by the cop at the corner. So I'm gonna have to just hope and get there smoothly. So, yay.
The other thing is also predicting what is going to come next as well. So it is the case of making sure that the AI just does their job and doesn't get in your way and things like that.
Yeah.
It is fairly tricky.
Yeah, I like the comment from Ham, like, this is a speedrun telling you the timer is very strict. Just give you an idea like how bad this mission is.
I mean, passing it first try is what we want to try and do, but obviously...
Oh, okay, well, like, we got good luck, at least. Like, this was pretty spot on, and I only have 25 seconds left.
Breathe. Just breathe. It's done.
Yep, one of the worst missions of the game is over. And funny enough, this is the car we were driving is the cover car of the game. It's kind of funny that it's just relegated to a mission you can technically never play by taking a different path.
So there is a fun one whilst the next mission is going on.
Yep. Another takedown mission, like we just saw.
We have another takedown one, which is D'Angio, I believe it is.
Yep,
so
take out D'Angio's car.
So at this point in the story, to catch that back up again. So at this point, Rufus has asked you, can you deliver this really fast car across town? You've done that. Again, depending on which missions you pick, depends on how the plot runs. But to cover the story that we're doing, he's told us to do that. But he's now asked us, can you take down this guy called D'Angio? So hence the reason why this is a thing.
Should I take a new pattern?
Up to you. You can chase him. I would.
But
up to you.
I'm debating because I don't know what this pattern much.
Got to adapt on the fly, I think, for this one. I
mean, I'm going to lose time a lot to compare to PB, because PB was pretty sure an instant kill.
This is the thing, it's getting an instant
kill
is difficult.
I spun on the grass, I'm not going to have any grip. Okay, I'm going to cut my losses. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, this is the other thing I was going to talk about as well. The chases are completely random, bit like what we did with Bust Out Jean-Paul. Some are more like harsh than others, and this is very much.
I'm getting the two worst one.
That in terms of the patterns that you get will be completely random. So there is a few bad apples in this one.
And those, I'm pretty sure I got the two worst one. Oh, come on.
He likes to throw you off like this as well.
Like the quickest pattern, you literally just drive in a straight line, kill him in like 10 seconds. This is not the quickest pattern, if it wasn't obvious. I'm like a minute behind already.
But either way, it is one of them. Like I said, the missions can be completely random and things like that. And something I did find out is the further you stretch away from on the left, if he's on the right now and you go on the other side.
Yeah, it says the same speed boost as Driver 2. I mean, I should say Driver 2 has the same speed as this game. I suppose I should say.
So like you're able to catch him up and stuff. It's interesting.
There we go. Bloody hell.
We got it.
Nice.
That's never happened before.
Yeah, infinite mass with a car stuck in between that and a wall. You just get a rocket ship.
Just off it goes. So, what's happened here? For those that are unaware,
We lost time.
apart from Survivor losing time. So, in terms of what's happened in the plot, so we've took down D'Angelo, but meanwhile, in another part of Miami, Rufus has now been shot by his girlfriend. So, when you meet him at the diner, you meet this girl called Jessie, who we have to catch.
Hence the name of the mission.
He calls her Pussycat. He's like, ooh, Pussycat. You know, like that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like Scarface in a way. So,
again,
anyway,
heavy cinema influence.
Exactly, yeah. Very heavily. And, yeah, he's just been shot by her. And obviously we
lost him.
Presumably we've found Rufus's body. And we've seen her leaving the scene of the crime, so to speak. And obviously hence the reason why we're chasing her.
This is one of the few missions, by the way, where you get instant respawning cops. As you can see, like, as soon as you lose one, the cop instantly respawn right away. So you're basically just in chase mode constantly. Although, to be fair, it doesn't exactly do much of a difference. So I'm just following the terrain, so I'm just kind of slowly... Obviously, it's literally on a rail, so it's not exactly hard to tell where it's going to go. So why can you even lose it to begin with is a good question.
But then, funnily enough, we were talking about how there's not many. This has the cooldown area here.
Yep.
The cops.
Well, this is one of two missions where you actually can lose... well, the cop just lose themselves. Although it's different from Driver 2. Where Driver 2 just slows them down until they lose you naturally. In this game, they just stop chasing. Like, the game just removes the chasing mode, pretty much. And that's Miami. Yep, that's 1 out of 4 towns done. One of the roughest ones.
Time with San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco is much more chill. It's... Although it is dependent on the cops still.
Exactly. In terms of the plot, so obviously we've caught Jessie, we've interrogated her, and it's like... Don't suppose you know where the guy is that contacted you to kill Rufus is. It's like, I heard the guy's in Frisco, San Francisco. So hence the reason how we got here. As soon as we arrive, we're on the ground and immediately we're trying to find this guy. The guy's like, I've got a job for you. It involves knocking off a casino. Can you pick us up? So in steps a new car. You'll notice that we have a brand new car now.
Ford Fairlane, or Ford 500 if I recall correctly.
I'm glad you remembered the name of it because I forgot.
I think it's one of those, or maybe it's a Ford Fairlane 500. It could literally be that. Whoop, that's now. This is San Francisco. It's hilly. Whoop, and it's apparently also full of intersection.
The thing is, as well, is that something that wasn't in Driver 12. It was in Driver 2, but it's done better, I think. Which is the hills and things. Yeah,
there's less hills in Driver 2 in general. The cities are more flatter. Okay, here I'm going to suck the wall as close as I can, just so they basically get in instantly. Oh. Well, I wish I didn't stop, but well. Yeah, I guess with the hills and the curve wouldn't work well. I mean, that's pretty fair, because in the game, in the places where there's actual, like, curves and... curved hills. The game doesn't like it. It struggles a lot with the handling. But yeah, for those missions where we, like you see, like you told me, come back later. In those okay, I guess it is hitting me. In those two missions I just did, you need to get there as soon as it goes under 15 seconds, and there's one mission in LA that it under 10 seconds instead. But I need to actually wait. I'm not allowed, if I just go inside the marker, it just gives me a felony and nothing in exchange. Oh, okay, we just got hit by a cup again.
Nice save.
Thank you. Yeah, the game allows you to do some nice, like, 80s action driving. That's the main that's the main sell point of this game, is you can just do some action stuff. There's a film director in the game. Oh, hi there. Hell yeah, 360, let's keep going.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a film director mode where you can just record your own, like, oh, bloody hell. You can just record your own chases and everything, and it's pretty fun. Fellas, thank you.
Yeah, so in this mission in particular, when you get to the end of this,
Yeah, there's a
the
needle
police
fridge.
obviously will be chasing you constantly. But in the next mission that we're going to be doing, which is one of my chat's favourites, which involves the phrase "Come see me down Fisherman's Wharf."
Oh yeah,
when
that
you get
one.
to the end of that, yeah, that one.
Oh, so here's the needle trick. The checkpoint's in there. I don't feel like driving there, so I'm just gonna hug the wall. That counts. Yeah, the trigger is quite wide. Because it's a bit of a maze to get in there. Like, you need to go around. The next mission we'll have to do that, but at least thankfully this one, our marker is far enough that you can just stuck to the wall and get in. The game in general is pretty glitch-free for the most part, but it gets wackier as once we get to LA. Oh, whoops.
So,
before you say anything, yes, my menuing is terrible. I'm still not confident with the menuing. I'm always scared I'm going to pick the wrong mission.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Like, I see your speedrun, it's like instant.
I will just say, for those that don't know, so in Miami there's a variety. We spoke about the branching missions, but the ones that are in Miami that branch off just involve going from A to B. There's not too many difficult missions in Miami that off the beaten path compared to the regular ones that you do. There's one that involves driving across the map, really annoying a guy, and then getting him to follow you. I think it's called bait for a trap or something.
Yeah, I remember there's one.
You've got to go over to the other side, really annoying by smashing his car up, and then he's like, "Argh," and then he comes after you.
There's the one you destroy restaurants, like you go through glass panes.
Payback,
that's the one. You got, oh, whoops, that's a pole. You also have the case for a key where it ends with like a sort of boat chase, but it's not really it. But in practice, it's just A to B mission.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Whoop, hi there, officer. Okay.
San Francisco has a few nasty ones though. One in particular that is very nasty in San Francisco is called the Briefcase. And it's about a 5-minute mission, 6 minute in total, but it's
nice.
It splits up in
two
parts.
Just for what
one involves.
This is a two-parter mission, so I spin my current around just to start facing the right way, because I'm gonna have to go to the other side. Anyway, go ahead.
So it's basically so in the Briefcase, part one involves stopping at a load of places and avoiding the cops. Then you get to the end point, and then the second point involves you driving across the Golden Gate Bridge and oncoming traffic. Going to the very top end of the map where it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
going up and down hills, stopping for 5 seconds or something, and then you go back across the bridge. But if the police are ruthless going up and down there.
Yeah, the bridge is hell. The bridge is complete hell.
So that's one of the missions. The other one that's also in San Francisco, which is a huge pain in the ass.
Oh, I think I know.
Is the one where there's an explosive crate in the back of the truck.
Oh god, I played that one.
Yeah, I remember seeing Survivor play. I thought it's tougher than it looks. I can't laugh and say I didn't struggle that a lot as a kid. I still struggle now.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Basically, you drive a pickup truck with an explosive crate in the back, and the crate sits in the middle at the start. As soon as you start,
oh hello,
cars, like
360, hell yeah.
So whether it as obviously you've seen that the cars have got weight, so the car weight distribution can go flop from left to right, and as you have got this pickup truck with the crate has this tendency to lean from one side to the other.
Yeah, it slides
around the corner and it slams against the wall. It causes damage. So it's not the truck that gets damaged, it's the crate. And if the crate starts smoking black, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you need to drive smoothly is the idea, pretty much.
But the worst thing is, as soon as you leave that warehouse, the police are on you.
Yeah, you're getting filmy instantly, but that's the worst part. It's a very rough mission.
Might get a guy chasing.
Nope, I got amazing luck. I just saved like 12 seconds on my PB.
But that's like,
those
two missions alone in San Francisco are so bad. They're horrible missions.
Yeah, if you go the wrong place, it gets bad quite quick in this game. Oh, we missed the sarcastic wow.
Wow.
Wow. I love it. It's so sarcastic. The cutscenes are pretty bad. Like,
in 1999 standards, what do you expect?
Well, I mean, they could have done better. Driver 2 has better cutscene than that.
Oh yeah, you can actually see people's faces better in Driver 2.
Yeah,
It actually
really.
looks like an actual cutscene.
Yeah, the animations are a bit better. The voice acting is somewhat better, although even that's still it's relative. We'll go with that.
There is a few missions as well in this that are quite fun.
Oh, this
is
one.
one of them.
I don't get this
Taxi.
one. It feels random, but sure. I'm gonna floor it and freak him out at the same time. And then he stopped being scared, and now I don't know what to do.
If you hit a wall, hit a wall.
I'm gonna do 360. That usually works.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it.
Sometimes
There
it
you
works,
go.
sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, it's a bit weird.
But it's quite a fun mission because it's just them going, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
what do you want?"
Yeah, the audio is great. But though, for those who are curious, it's not just, oh, dude, what you learned in the interview, in the garage mission, because if you do a reverse 180, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't freak him out. I know, I tried yesterday. Because I was curious.
One of the strats I got told about years ago was turn around at the start, drive back in the opposite direction and flip the car over, and it instantly scares him.
Okay.
And the number of times where I flipped the car over and he just didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Something that should scare him doesn't. You're kind of just like stuck having wasted your time and resetting.
Also, fun fact, if you flip the car over, I think I said before, like, was during my stuntman run, which is if the car flips upside down, that's it, you have to restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it came from. It came from driving. You tipped it up, turn the car on its side or upside down.
Oh, I'm
and
quite far.
There you go.
Whoops, that's not ideal.
Also, weather effects play a part in the bad frame rate for this game as
Yeah,
well.
it doesn't
If you think
help.
it's bad with on dry weather, wet weather makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah, the game is not having fun right now.
But, yeah, in terms of, like I said, in terms of missions and things like that.
Don't worry
Like,
about it, it's fine.
In terms of all the missions that you get in this game, as I said, there's several branching paths, and there's one in particular that I used to be very hateful of because I don't know, I just found it very difficult, which was called Trip to the Mall, and you literally drive like round the corner, down the hill to the mall, pick a bunch of guys up, and then have to get to a safe house, which is interesting. And as well, whilst we're on the topic of San Francisco, and whilst we're here still. So there is a few branching paths, as I said.
Yeah.
And whilst he's doing Coast to the Chopper, so the next one after this, I think, is the Mercy mission.
Yeah, it is. Mercy mission after. Oh, I lost him anyway.
But whilst Survivor's doing this, there is an out of bounds in San Francisco at the top end of the map near the warehouses. However, we haven't found a actual use for it. Because you can go outside of the map and it goes all weird, but there's nothing that your car will sink into, like in Los Angeles and in New York, as you'll see later on, with some glitches and stuff. That
yeah, it gets wacky
there is ways of finishing missions that are not the intended way. That's all I'm going to say regarding that.
This is not going great.
It is worth noting as well, just really quick, is that driver games do not have a what's it called? Driver games don't have, or from Driver 3 onwards, they don't have a cop difficulty system. The first two games did, and it showed.
I think Driver 3 has it, if I recall. I think there is a cop difficulty
You can turn it on. You can turn them on and off. But that's it.
Oh, is that it? I thought it was a difficulty still.
That's it. But Parallel Lines had them on by default. In San Francisco, they're just in the game.
And here's the worst helicopter animation in the game. Oh, whoops, okay, didn't turn on quickly enough.
So whilst he's doing the really slow walk,
one thing I could... Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No, you go ahead.
Okay, one thing I do want to explain about the branching path. The thing is, it's not just like, oh, pick mission 1, 2, or 3 in the option menu. There's also the whole issue of, okay, you actually need to pick a specific mission, because later on it starts a different mission. So there's stuff like that. Like a mission unlocks a different mission later on, so you need to consider that too. There's a lot of ways you can end up like going in circles and having a really bad time by just picking the wrong mission.
I mean, one of the main things in particular, one of the main ones of these branching paths that Survivors just mentioned is right near the end of the game.
Yeah.
So when you load into New York, you have two paths that you can go down.
I thought it was three.
One of them is at the very start, because that depicts how it all works. So there's two particular paths right at the very start. One of them is the Grand Central Station switch route, which is what we're picking for the run. So you've got Grand Central Station switch and a mission afterwards called The Accident. So you've got them two missions, or you do Luther's Heap of Junk and the Rescue. And if you do the Luther's Heap of Junk route, you actually save somebody called Ali. And as such, the second to last mission in the game changes.
Yep, it becomes the Ali situation.
That's the one. But if you do the route that we do something called Rite of Passage, which is essentially a sprint across the map. And it is actually the fastest mission. And it's in the rain, and in the dark as well. But yeah, there's quite a few different branching paths, and it's interesting as well because in the fun fact, in the PC version of the game, which we've not really mentioned, but in the PC version of the game, you actually just destroy the car in the alley situation. And it skips that mission, so you never save Ali, and you just do the last mission.
Oh wow, that's much quicker.
So there's a fun one for you. But given the PC version, we haven't spoke much about that. But
it's a whole different game, pretty much, almost.
The missions are roughly the same, but the biggest issue with the PC version is the fact that the cops spawn instantly, almost,
and it looks bad.
The spawn rate is way higher. So losing a cop, like at the end of these missions in some cases, like Survivor will have a lot easier time beating most missions in San Francisco in this version than they will in the PC. Because in this version, you can grind cars down, so you can do the same in PC. But if you grind one down and he gets very low on health, chances are another one's going to spawn instantly.
If I recall,
the radar flashes still.
If I recall, it's a bit like all the mission would be the informant, where the cops just spawn and go instantly.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There is a Game Boy Color version, by the way, as well. We haven't mentioned. But
no, that's even more of a whole new game.
Yeah, that's an entirely different game altogether.
It's not bad, honestly, though. For a GBA game, and it's pretty damn fun. But compared to
it's not in GBA, it's Game Boy Color.
Oh, it's even color. It's even earlier.
It's a top-down perspective, so it's like if Driver was done. So as we were saying before. So Driver on the PS1 and the PC are in a 3D environment with the cities and everything. This is what one-upped GTA. But they released Driver You Are the Wheelman. We'll come back to that in a second. They released Driver You Are the Wheelman for Game Boy Color in 2001, I think, and it was a top-down perspective
I thought it was
game,
2000.
like GTA, or 2000 then.
Late 2000, probably.
Perspective. The funny thing is, I was briefly mentioning that. So, the game went under 3 different titles, depending on which region. So, in the EU and the European version, it's just Driver, which is what it's used as, and it's known as on Twitch. North American release got Driver You Are the Wheelman, which I didn't like, I never do. But then
it's a bit of an
Japanese release, and then Japanese release is like Driver Sennayu Car Chase or something. Forget what the actual title is.
I couldn't help you.
But I will say I do quite like the cover art for the Japanese release. Because it's like red and it looks like action-packed, and you can tell it's Japanese. It's pretty cool. Now it's the Japanese release. All the cops speak Japanese as well, so that's pretty cool. I quite like that.
It's a decent. I should probably try it eventually.
There was another version of Driver 1.
Is there?
There was a iOS release that came out in 2009, 2010. That basically takes the missions from this and dumbs them down a bit. But they actually managed to get this game onto an iOS platform. It got delisted quite a few years ago. I've been trying to get it to work on an iOS emulator, but it is hard.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem to be a case at the moment. So you never know, you might see a run of that in the future. Also, whilst we've just come to the end of the Mercy mission, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, there was a lot of driving, multi-point mission, and it's keeping the car healthy and definitely low is quite important because it can get bad quite quick. Especially
Well,
when she's getting Roblox territory. I guess we should explain like how that works. Like we're talking like everyone knows that, but I guess we didn't explain much.
I'll let you explain that one.
Yep. So basically, the felony system, how you gain felony is by hitting cars, walls. Hitting a cop car felony doesn't count. But yeah, walls, traffics, you name it. If you hit something, you get felony. And if you're around like 10% felony, you just have one cop following you, and they're just gonna like stay around you. If you have like 25% felony, then you're gonna get like 2 cops spawning, and if you get around like 50% felony, then you can start to get roadblocks. And also at that point, the cops actually like ram you. They don't just like slow down behind you. They actually like go at you at full speed and don't stop.
Yeah, they are pretty ruthless.
Felony management is quite important, just to avoid roadblocks. Obviously, a roadblock, you saw me getting a couple of them. They get quite in the way, so if you can just avoid having to go through them, it's quite ideal.
Well, one of the main things I was going to mention as well, not just regarding police, but something that's definitely worth a mention.
Yep.
Is you've obviously just done the Mercy mission, and the Mercy mission had an interesting change. I only found out about this about a year ago, maybe. But for those that are unaware, people probably have heard of the cutting room floor, which is where stuff is cut from games.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I know what you mean.
I highly recommend checking it out. You probably know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great website, cutting room floor. It's very interesting just to read about like all the beta stuff and stuff that got cut or planned and stuff like that.
So one of the interesting bits that was cut from this game, from the PS1 version, is in the PC version of the Mercy mission, there is 4 parts. Where the PS1 version ends, it's at the end of the 3rd part. But in the PS1 files, in the coding, there's actually a way to activate the 4th path. And it's something that was never put in the game. It was decoded out, I guess, or decommanded.
Yeah, you got coming out. It's pretty obvious to tell too.
Because the cutscene that you see when you beat part 3, so the end of the mission on PS1, is actually the end of part 4, not 3. So there's a cutscene missing, an entire section missing, and you get jumped to the end. You'll notice that where Tanner stops on that 3rd, and so at the end of the PS1 mission, that all of a sudden he's now in the park.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything where you ended.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't match where he was. And like I said, thanks to the cutting room floor.
How many cops have I got on me? I have 4 cops? 5 cops? Okay, that's weird.
But yeah, thanks to the cutting room floor for mentioning all this, because like I said, without it I would never have known about that. And yeah, it's a fun bit of trivia for you, in case for those that didn't know.
Yeah, no, like it's pretty obvious in the cutscene. Like, oh wait, doesn't look anything like where I meant to compare to the previous part. So it's a bit offending. I just saved like 20 seconds on this bit. Holy crap! Okay, I didn't realize that was that bad.
It was clean, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty slow. I didn't have to lose the cop or anything. They all got stuck. So, all right, Tanner and Slater.
That's it. Another chase mission. There we go. Another
takedown. Another one that can go either very long or can end like in a quarter of a second. I kind of hope I'm gonna get at least one that's gonna go instantly, because it's kind of hilarious to look. Like, these chase missions look super challenging, and then you do them. It's like, oh, you can just do that.
Oh, just well.
Please don't turn. Please don't turn. Nice. Okay, there we go. So I can just do this. Yay!
You got him.
That's literally the whole mission. Yeah, it's not challenging when the pattern where it goes a straight line.
If we got like 2 minutes whilst you're doing that, am I right to read some bits and pieces out?
Should we clear this mission first? Because there's some weird things to explain.
Yeah, probably best actually.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with that. Yeah, we'll clear this one first.
Yeah,
this is something you guys might want to watch.
Yeah, this is where things get weird. Let's put it that way. Because like I mentioned, like the most of the speedrun is pretty glitch free. Like, it's mostly been just do the mission efficiently and look at the walls to get the game to stop lagging.
So
this is where
essentially go on.
This is where we start to abuse a bit more of the game. The game asked me to deliver this cop car across Los Angeles, but that's a long drive. I don't feel like doing that. So I'm going to go around and turn around and go here. You might be wondering why. Like, what's special around this place? I'm gonna go to a specific corner. I just feel like it. Let's go. Viper, do you want to see the beach? Let's see the ocean. We're in LA. We're near the Pacific Ocean, right?
Yeah, I didn't think LA had a beach.
Yeah, well, let's go see.
Does it still have a beach now? I don't know. Someone could confirm that in chat, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a beach. Let's go see the Pacific Ocean. I'm sure it's nice. So we're gonna go here. I see. This seems to be a nice spot to go look at the Pacific Ocean. Like there's a parking, and oh look, we're in the water. Oh no, we're sinking. Oh look, the mission's over. So yeah, for some reason, if you sink the car in the water, it beats the mission. We're gonna abuse it quite that a lot. Every opportunity we can, we're gonna abuse it. So any long mission where you need to drive around, we're just gonna sink the car and beat the mission instead.
And you wonder how this game dropped from like an hour and a half down to an hour and 10. This was one of the reasons it dropped.
Yeah, I'm sure it helped. And if
as well as cop RNG, obviously.
And now he's on a chase mission. So yeah, go ahead, explain what you wanted to explain.
Yep. So I just wanted to quickly point out whilst the chase is afoot with Duval, which is a bit tricky at times. It can be if you get it right or wrong. I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
Oh come on! I just need Sneak once.
But whilst
Cannonball.
the survivor's doing that,
There we go.
We got him. There we go. We got him. Yeah, so I just want to quickly mention that you are watching McRaeathon. We're a 2-day speedrun event that's held annually here on the McRaeathon and the BSG channels. Through the power of the internet, we're bringing you 2 full days of racing goodness from the comfort of our own homes to yours. So far, we have raised over €300 for our charity, which is Mind. For those that don't know who Mind are, they're a nationwide organisation which is committed to preventing mental health issues and support everyone who has dealt with mental issues themselves or within their own family. Obviously, 100% of your donations will go to Mind. We'd also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing technical assistance and their donation service with us, which helps with a much smoother running of our events. Be sure to check out BSG's next event, BSG 36, from June 1st to June 2nd. And also be sure to check out BSG's annual event, BSG Annual 2024, which is running from August the 11th through to August 17th, 2024. And finally, if you would like to get updates on when we are live, when our events go ahead, and much other information regarding McRaeathon, you can find us over on Twitter. It's not X, Twitter at McRaeathon. You can also find our YouTube channel, which is under the same name, again at McRaeathon. And we also have a Discord. Feel free to do !Discord in the McRaeathon chat or look below the stream for a link to join our Discord channel and Discord server. If you want to participate in one of our future events or even volunteer and help out, again, that is the place to be. With that, though, I'll hand it back over to Survivor.
Thank you very much. So this is the Mad Exit. This is one of the longer missions of LA. Now you might be thinking, well, if it's a long driving mission, why are you not sinking the ocean again? That seems to be very quick. Unfortunately, the trick doesn't work in multi-parter mission. So this is spoiler. There's going to be a second part after this mission. If I try to sink the car at this moment, it's going to give me the continue and let me start the loading screen. The problem is the game is going to get stuck in the loading screen because I guess it tries to like spawn me again and just doesn't know what to do. So yeah, we're not allowed to use the strat in this mission because of the multi-parts setup. And in the second part, at that point, it's quicker to just drive to the end point than try to drive at the bottom of the ocean. So we'll just do the mission at that point because it's just quicker.
Fun fact, in this mission, in the car park, you may see cars just come through the wall. Yeah, on the right-hand side. It's quite funny, to be honest. I don't know if it's an emulator thing or what, but it is funny to just
No, I think it's just the car park is just poorly made.
It's quite funny. Like, we can't do that, but the AI can. It's really weird.
Yeah, because it's the same driver too. The AI, as long as you don't touch him, they sort of don't have collision, so they can just drive through everything if they want. Police, business. Okay, let's go. And I hope you like rain, because starting from this point, we're gonna see a lot of it.
You should probably point out, actually, there's an interesting thing that happens with the game soundtrack. So, for some odd reason, and again, we have no idea why, but there is set soundtracks in Take a Ride mode. Again, this is nothing major, it doesn't affect the speedrun in any way.
Okay.
But that was pretty damn close.
Could have been worse, could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
It's still good, it's still good.
So, the soundtrack for Miami has a soundtrack for the daytime and for the nighttime. San Francisco has one for day, one for night. New York has one for day and one for night. Los Angeles only has one soundtrack because it only has one time of day.
Yep.
Which means in the soundtrack files, if you have a look, there is 2 soundtrack files which aren't used very often because of the fact that they're supposed to be used in Take a Ride mode. Instead, they're mainly used in missions and in other ones. In my opinion, it's one of my personal favourites. And as well, we've not really mentioned this, although then again, it's kind of a bonus. You'll see it at the end anyway.
Quick interruption. I'm not gonna turn around the display. There's no point. The game, this is the one mission where the game just sets you in a specific angle, so there's no point in trying to turn around. Because I will have to turn around because it's a quicker route, but there's no point in doing it manually. The game will force me to spin back up, so you just drive straight into the checkpoint and end it. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's okay. But yeah, in terms of like the time of day, like I said, Miami, San Francisco, New York all have a day and a night, and they all have a day soundtrack and a night soundtrack. It's not the same, I'll grant you, because the game has a certain amount of soundtracks and it plays whichever for the day and for the night, and it varies in missions as well.
Yeah, in the mission it just doesn't care. It just uses whatever.
The ones that are hidden are heard. The first place you really hear it, I think, in the undercover mode is when you bust out Jean-Paul.
Yep.
That's the first time you hear one of the soundtracks, one of these that was missing. I say missing, it's not really missing, it's in the game's files, but
yeah, it's just not used like the other ones.
They're not used normally is because they were supposed to be in a 5th city, although the 5th city is not part of the undercover, and that is Newcastle.
Is it? I thought it was just.
It is. That was the because it was. So it's a case of. So for those that don't know, Reflections was based in Newcastle at the time, and as a result of them building the thing, they decided, hey, you know what? Why don't we try and remake Newcastle? And as such, they did. They only made it a very short map. It's not that big. It's maybe even maybe a 10th of the size of Miami.
Yeah, it's just used for the final cutscene of the game, just as a sort of gag. Okay, that's quite bad having got robots in.
But the soundtracks, the soundtrack for the game is, or this particular soundtrack we're on about, was supposed to be used for Newcastle, and obviously Newcastle isn't a playable city. However, it is if you're on Emulator, you can use Game Shark codes or Game Breaker codes. I believe you can still do it.
Yeah, it still works.
On the console, you probably have to mod the code a little bit, but there is ways of doing it, I believe, on a console. But you can play Newcastle in the PC release. After you beat the game, you can actually drive around Newcastle. But in the PS1 version, you have to go into the game's code. Something else that the PC version also has that the PS1 version doesn't have is the ability to drive different cars for different missions during the undercover mode.
Yeah,
and
much more
free
options.
play mode as well. There's one like a Ford Thunderbird looking car, which is very quick. There's like an orange Ferrari thing.
Yeah, there's like a Daytona.
You get told your speed. Yeah, and you get told your speed as well. In the PC release, something you don't get in the PS1 version.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of speed and stuff, one of the things we haven't mentioned, but would probably definitely recommend giving it a mention, is there is a game out there. I always mention this whenever I do Driver, which is there is a project that is made by the Driver community. It's still work ongoing. It has been for years, and it still will be for many years, I'm sure. Called the Driver Syndicate.
Oh yeah, yes, that's the project.
Made for it and everything. And to cut a long story short, I think it was made in 2020? It was made.
Maybe?
It started development earlier than that, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
and it's a project that's built with the Drive community, mainly by a guy called Soapy, but there are other developers out there that have also helped as well. And the community has gone back in time with some of the mods that they've made. For example, one of the mods that is made for the game is a Driver 1 Miami mod called the Classic Syndicate, I think it is. And it's only got Miami so far. I really can't wait for it.
I recall seeing San Francisco was getting near done. I recall seeing something like that.
So far with the Miami one, it's got every single mission in Miami. Unfortunately, we don't have the chance to do missions separately like we do in this. So this game has the branching paths option. Something that is in that mod is the fact that you do all of the Miami missions.
Yeah, it's just all in one row.
And it's, I can imagine when that's done, it's going to be amazing. But would highly recommend giving it a shot. It is free to download. You can get hold of it. You just look for the Driver Syndicate. I'm sure you'll find it. There's a Discord server. I think it's a Driver Mantis Discord that you need to join.
Yep.
And that has mods. It has little tweaks and things like that. There's obviously, that's where you can also find places to help. If you want to talk Driver just with anybody, that's the place to be. And obviously the Driver Speedrun Discord.
Viper, I missed the beach. Let's go to the beach again.
Yeah, let's.
So yeah,
damn, it really did go to the beach.
Yep. So yeah, this is another mission. It's much quicker to go there because it's right next to the second objective. Because there's another objective after that, so we just go straight to the ocean right away.
But with that, I think that's Los Angeles out the way.
Yeah, LA's done. We're now at Grand Central Station Switch, the first mission of New York, and probably one of the hardest one. This one can go back quite quick because it's a multi-parter and it's. Oh, whoops! I need to pick the wrong mission there. Okay, hopefully this is Grand Central Station Switch, because if not, we're a bit of an issue. I do have saves game working. I can probably use if we're that desperate, I suppose.
Oh, see what happens.
But I think I went forward once and went backward once. Hey, we got it. So this is a 3-parter mission, and it's pretty rough, especially for the last part, because it's. First of all, it's raining. It always rains. We're just going to see raining mission for the rest of this game at this point. So, enjoy. I'm going to have to do my best to keep the car as healthy as I can.
There is one thing I should mention. Because this is New York, taxis are a pain in the ass. Big time.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of junctions. So, you're going to meet a yellow car. Often.
Yeah, the taxis are the bane of my existence for this particular part of the run, because God knows how many times I lost a run because of a taxi, and that's not even a joke. If you have a look at some of the clips on my channel, you'll spot, at least on more than one occasion, times where I completely lost my cool thanks to a taxi. For example, I lost the only 111 on console to a friggin' taxi, so that's great.
Always fun.
But yeah, it's been ridiculous. Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's not going to help my damage.
Where is he? Oh, he's already damaged himself. That's good.
Oi! Sit still. And mwah. Thank you.
Okay, that's actually not done too bad.
Yeah, that was alright. That could have been worse. But yeah. It's again, the first 2 parts are alright. It's this last one that it gets quite bad quite quick, because it's pretty much every worst scenario into one mission.
Yeah, New York has some pretty terrible missions as well. New York has a lot of terrible missions,
and there's a lot of terrible missions we're dodging. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
like the rescue is bad.
There's the rescue, which is like a 6-minute behemoth of a mission, but also there's take a cab as well, which is on another branching path, and that is horrible. It involves driving a cab from one side of the map to the other. That doesn't sound too bad
until you do it.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem with that. You don't start off with felony. Luckily, there's no time limit, but because the timer counts up like it does now. If the timer counts up, you just take your time with it. If it counts down, that's when the panic starts. But the cab is a problem because it's like, the police are ruthless, it's dark at night, it's wet, The taxi is extremely fragile. It's like a Superfly drive, but it's
Oh, it's one of the missions where you need to keep the car healthy, like steal the cop car and everything. So they just give no health to the car to fake it.
Yeah, it's such a horrible mission.
Yeah.
But also, whilst we're talking about horrible missions, and this is actually quite ironic because, well, let's just say this: one of the most horrible missions for me, and one of the biggest pain in the butt for this, apart from Superfly Drive in in Miami, is the negatives.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad chase mission.
Because you chase the taxi, it's got infinite mass, which wouldn't be a problem, except the driving is all over the place and keeping up with the damn thing's difficult.
Yeah, the rain makes the infinite mass chase a bit worse. Also, the thing that frustrates me about this mission the most is that you can clearly see in the cutscene it's daylight and it's not raining. They added the rain after after the cutscene was done. That was a last minute change just to make the mission even harder than it is. Okay, so this is why it gets bad, because this mission, we just need to go back to the Grand Central Station, which we started from the second part. The thing is, we need to end without a pursuer chasing us, and the pursuer are like in the informant, so they respawn instantly. I don't think I have to point out the issue, is that you need to lose the cop, but the cop are always on you. So you always end up having to like take them down the end. So if your car is not healthy, you're in big trouble.
I always just bomb it to the end and just hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea, to be fair. Did I? No, I didn't pick it wrong, well, I'm fine. Yeah, you just bomb it to the end, just pray to all Lord that everything's gonna go alright.
I think you might be one
taxi!
too short, actually. Oh. Yeah, I think you might be one road short, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they all go the same place, so it should be fine. Yeah, there you go. The roads still connect. Yeah, the main challenge of New York is that you kind of need to balance, like, looking to the walls to limit the frame rate and manage the traffic and all the intersection. Okay, if I can lose one of them, I can just deal with one guy. That's fine. Nice, perfect. Okay, I'll take that.
Nice.
And that's 26 seconds compared to PB. Honestly, this is an alright run. Despite how terrible the NGO's car was, everything else went pretty smoothly.
Well, you say that, you've now got to do the accident.
Yeah, I just saw the mission. I should not spoke at all. I just read what I need to do.
Once you get past the accident and the negatives, then I'd say the rest of the run's not too bad. Also, for some reason, between Grand Central Station and the accident, for some reason it puts you at that particular bit, but on the answering machine there is no other mission bar this one, so I don't know what the point of that is.
Yeah, I don't know if they had planned for more.
Straight into this mission. Also, the one time you get to play as a cop and actually cause carnage, it's fantastic.
Speaking of carnage, you just caused a lot of carnage.
Yeah. Speaking of it.
I'm trying to slide. The guard drives pretty poorly in this mission. Oh, so this is the... oh, that's solid, okay. Didn't realize there was a solid bowler there. This is the World Trade Center, by the way. Because, again, the game's predated 9/11. It's that old. Yeah, this handles really terribly with the frame rate and everything.
The fun thing is, as well, in terms of all the maps, though, is here's a fun one. So the only map that the only map that Driver hasn't come back to from the original one is Los Angeles.
Yep.
However, it technically, if you count the mobile release, which is Driver Undercover, LA Undercover, that technically did go back to Los Angeles.
Okay, this is not great. I mean, yeah, you're right. I should have spoke about how well this is going. Oh, really? Grip! Power!
The main reason I mentioned that is outside of this, you visit San Francisco in the latest release, obviously which is Driver San Francisco. Driver Power Lines revisited New York. Driver 3 revisited Miami.
Yep.
like I said, apart from the
Oh,
mobile
God.
release, which is Driver LA Undercover, it's like,
Oh, I just failed a mission. Wait, no, it counts. Okay, never mind. You can just follow him. I literally did not know that.
I have never seen that before. I did not know that neither.
Apparently,
We
if
both
you-
learned something there.
You're that terrible, you can the game just say, oh, whatever, that counts.
I think because you're stuck with him, maybe? I don't know.
Probably.
Strange. Anyhow.
Hey, I mean, that works. That works for me, so I'll take it. As they say, we
Next-
take those.
Exactly. Next one is Trash Granger's Wheels, which, being
Nope,
honest,
it's
isn't
the
too
accident.
difficult of them.
Oh, wait, no,
I've just done the accident.
yeah, I forgot to split, never mind. This is Trash. Oh, I picked the wrong mission then. Uh-oh. I just picked the first option because I saw what was written. Oh, this is bad.
You got save state?
No.
Uh-oh.
Take a cab. Oh, no!
Speaking of bad missions,
Should we
time
do
to
it?
show you what it can do.
Or do I just load a save file? How bad
Oh,
is
take
it?
this one, is it? Just take it easy and watch for the cops.
Alright, sure. We got time. That's art. I don't even know where I'm going.
Well, this is an interesting one. You're gonna have a hard time with this.
I mean, you're the one who knows this game more than I do. Should I just take a save file and call it a day? I have save files ready if needs be.
Oh, where's the latest save file?
I got one for every mission in the game.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, just go for the one. Load the save file for Trash Granger's Wheels if you got one.
Alright.
It's fine. We can go from there. It's fine. It's fine. At least it'll start.
We should be
where it's
fine.
supposed
I have like 8 minutes leeway still, so we should be good. Low save game. Alright, so
to. Nobody saw anything.
that's gonna take a while. Do you wait? Because I have save file for every mission. It takes a bit to load.
Ah, it's okay.
It's
Well,
on the
whilst
next.
this is going on, let's put it this way. I was just going to quickly mention this, which is the fact that again, whilst we're loading in, and we go back to go back to the save file. Thank God for save files, huh?
Yeah, that was just for practice, but I'm glad I.
But,
Yeah, digital. You're a smart boy. That's what you're supposed to do. Just
oh, my
take your
fault.
time.
I took your mind off that one. Right. Okay. So I'll let you select the mission first.
Alright, there you go. 3 times now we're actually on Trash Granger's wheel.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Whilst that mission's loading in, I just want to quickly take the opportunity to just quickly say that so far this event we've raised over €300. Any other donations that you guys want to send in, please feel free to do so. It's going to be your last chance to get the donations in. Obviously, we'll leave the donation link up for another day or so, as long as we can. But if you want to get them in and any donations read out on stream, feel free to get them in as soon as possible. And obviously, I'll read them out. But for those that have donated so far, many thank you for your amazing generosity. I know that this event, it only runs once a year, but to be honest, I was saying this to somebody earlier that the amount of people and things like that, this event couldn't have been where it is without you. I promise I'll leave the sentimental crap for afterwards, but for now, if you got any donations you want to get in, this run will be your last chance, probably the next 20 minutes, 10-15 minutes even at a push, to get a donation in. So if you want to get one in, sure, do it act fast, and it will get read out. And yeah, on that note, back to you, Survivor.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go for it, people. It's a good cause. Okay, so yeah, you just saw the Trash Granger wheel. We pick it because it's a very short mission. It's a quick drive back and forth. You go there, take out a car, and drive back, and that's it. It's pretty quick, and at least compared to every option, it's very quick. Like take a cab, as I've been told, is apparently dreadful, and it looked pretty slow.
Oh, it is. It's like 4 minutes, 3.5, 4 minutes.
I'm surprised that cop did not see me. Holy crap! Okay.
That was pretty lucky. Wow.
Okay. And now we have the negatives. The last takedown mission. Also level plus 3 minutes 17. Oops.
That's fine. You're underestimate.
Yeah, fine.
Let's just hope
I can
the
go up.
negatives go as well.
I can go up to plus 10 technically. So.
Let's just hope the negatives go well, eh?
How hard could it be?
Stop being so negative.
Hey.
I mean, I have nothing nice to say about this mission. It literally
I know you
is in
hate
the
it.
title
I know
of the
you hate
mission.
it
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's in the title of the mission. It's called The Negatives. I am being negative.
I thought it was
just
gonna
works.
bait me there, but no. For once, it actually was turning right.
Yeah. Oh man. This is the one mission that I just.
Okay. We'll call it off and restart.
I
Yeah. Again,
can do
like
this mission, but
I'll take down
it's
mission.
hard.
The worst part is that you can do it like instantly. You just need the perfect pattern, and you need good luck and good bounces. Like see, compared to this pattern is like way slower, and I still managed to beat it. But don't mind that. That's not important. The frame rate is also pretty bad in here. Alright, this is Shuri's Drag Race. Yeah, I don't think we ever finished that thought. That's the same concept as Driver 2 of like the safe zone, not the safe zone, the speed boost. So my car is being artificially slowed down because I'm too close to him. But if I'm too far away from him, I'm gonna get a massive speed boost. Alright, get away from me. I need some speed, mate.
So not long after I said
Oh, really?
that, we've got a donation.
Oh, nice.
Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You might regret this.
Man, whatever.
So we have a €5 donation from Howland Mad Mike, who says, let me get my voice on. Here we go. I can't really do the voice very well, but here goes.
Alright. I'm sure
Elmo likes speedrunning. Elmo likes donations. Elmo likes chat from both McRaeathon and PSG. This stream has been brought to you by the color red, the letter C, and all the amazing people who donated. P.S. Sorry / not sorry for mentioning Elmo.
Nice.
I could not resist.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
worth it. That's worth it. Thank you very much. Alright, rite of passage. We're driving from Brooklyn all the way to the other corner of the map of New York. I forgot what it's called. It's basically corner to corner of the map. Oh, I need to get to this camera. With a decently strict timer. It's a really long mission. Like, we have 4 minutes to get there, pretty much. And it's gonna take that 4 minutes. Let me tell you. And once again, it's raining. Because, of course. Apparently we're going through in New York while there's like a tsunami, not a tsunami, like a typhoon or something. If there was a tsunami, we had way more water to deal with currently. Alright, so I guess we can say that this marathon is now Elmo approved.
It is, apparently.
And before copyright takedown by Disney. Oh wait, does Disney even own that?
I don't think so, no.
Disney own everything, so I just assume.
Sesame Street's still going. It's weird. Yeah,
I don't like this cop.
That's a interesting conversation.
Well, I like this cop even less now. Okay.
Got past him, so it's all good.
Yeah, we made it through eventually. This is the sort of mission that it can go pretty smoothly until it goes bad, and then it goes real bad. Like if you snowball the felony, then you start getting roadblocks, which means you crash more, which means you get more felony, which etc. etc. Like it just snowballs and get worse and worse by a second. And don't hit the bench. The bench are made of granite. Like they're solid. I thought it was like
it's the one thing in the game that for some reason just doesn't add up. Like you can run over like 60 kilometers an hour or 60 mile an hour signs or whatever they are, and it's fine. But then you go to hit a bench, nope.
Bench is just not moving. I remember like when I was doing my I think playthrough was first speed run. I went through to assuming it would be like Driver 2 where you can't just drive through them, and yeah, I just hit a wall instead.
It's literally like hitting a brick wall. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's solid. Like it's not moving.
Also, we'll just quickly say this as well, is that don't be fooled by the massive time limit. Like, that's no joke. It does take that long to
yeah,
get
it's tight. Like I mentioned, like the timer is very strict.
Like on a straight run, I think I still get there with about 30 seconds. But
yeah, like
that's
20-30 seconds is about. Oh, and that's why I should look at the intersection instead. Thankfully, you don't need to lose the car at the end. The game just asks you to get there and call it a day. But there's that saving grace.
But whilst this is going on, I've not even mentioned this, which is the fact that in terms of where the story is at, so we've gone to San Francisco, we chased the guy there. Turns out that the guy is working for a gang run by someone called Castaldi, and Castaldi's gang is who we were working for in Los Angeles and also in New York as well. Los Angeles was more of a case of we was going to be ratted out to Castaldi apparently, and fortunately, or should that be unfortunately, yeah, we got ratted out, and it's a case of, well, that's kind of about it. Yeah, we got pretty close to being ratted out. It's
yeah, we just managed to save it in the end.
Yeah.
And
so
now
what it is, it's a case of Castaldi's basically said, right, I need you to come to New York.
Yeah, he has a big job in mind.
So he's got this guy called Granger who he tells us to go. Well, basically because obviously we're a cop, so we need to put Granger behind bars. So that's why you smash his car up, get him arrested. And turns out after all of this, he's like, oh yeah, Granger's like, oh, can you just do this route? We need to see if you can make it or not. That's the whole reason we're doing this route right now.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. Hey.
The whole reason for the route. Turns out the big plot point, here it is, it's finally revealed.
Yeah, this is what the big job is.
And what was the plot?
The infamous mission the second infamous mission of this game. The first mission is very hard and the last mission is very hard. Fortunately, we have a special trick for that.
So it turns out that the entire plot after this, Castaldi had one big idea in mind. What was the big job? To kill the United States president.
So we're escaping with the president to get him to safety.
Yeah.
And this is a hard mission because you're basically in survival mode, and you need to drive across like most of New York while in survival mode. That sounds hard, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, well, that sort of worked. Okay, well, you get the idea. That's a bit of a spoiler alert, I suppose. Yeah, I don't feel like driving across because that's hard. So I'm just gonna use the fact that they have massive amount of speed to just get them to clip me through.
And time will be coming up once we're at the end of this.
Yeah, once I press continue after the end of this mission, this is where timer goes. Come on, see me. Yeah, nice driving, son. You're about to see some hell driving, sir. There we go. That's more what I want to see.
Yeah, so it turns out with the amount of speed the cops have, as Survivor was saying, now the cops are on survival mode. They've been turned up to 11. And this is how you save the president. You go out of bounds by getting pushed out by the cops.
You clip through the walls, go in the river, in the Hudson River, and sink. And get ready for time. Time! Oh, whoops.
That's it, time. Done.
There you go. 1:21:30 and some change. According to my own timer. Yeah, nice drowning, son. Thank you.
I know Duck said that a few times in my chat when I've played it.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm surprised I never thought about that one.
Okay, sir? I'm fine.
You okay, sir? I'm fine, son.
Oh,
Still remember all lines from all this.
It's a good, yeah.
There's an infinite. I might as well just let this play out.
Yeah. Thanks for GG's, everyone.
Oh, you got any final shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to, I mean, shout out to you, because you're the only reason I started to speedrun this game, because you you got me to doing driver 1. You told me all the routes and everything. So shout out to you for doing that. Shout out to you for running the McRaeathon. I don't know. Shout out to I don't know what else. Shout out. Shout out to Montreal Canadiens are not doing this NHL series or because they're playing that poorly. Yeah, that's about it.
Take it.
And I guess shout out to the old driver community. Come join us. We have some fun with a lot of there's a lot of fun to do.
Now you get yourself back here, Tanner.
There's the line. There's the line.
Now you come back here.
Tanner.
Pick up this badge.
You come yourself back here, Tanner. You come back here. You pick up this badge. Tanner. You just put yourself a whole lot of trouble, fella.
Tanner.
This is your last chance, Tanner.
Yep, it's great. Yeah, shout out to Helmo, I suppose.
Good old Elmo, of course. Shout out to Sesame Street, the real street.
Yeah, the real Wheelman streets.
What do you look for in a person? Street? What? Sesame Street. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So that was a good mission.
Oh yeah,
that was a good
credits.
Game.
Credits. I forgot about that bit.
Oh,
the credits.
Apparently, no credits. I didn't press anything.
No, in the cheats.
Oh, it's a cheat. Okay. Oh, that's a training cheats.
And credits is at the top.
Yeah, I found it.
And this loads the credits. I always have this at the end of my run personally because I'm like, yeah, this is the actual ending credits.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So this is
also shows off
Newcastle.
Yeah. There you go. And you're also in a Jag, which I'm sure Alan Mad Mike will be happy about because I think he owns one similar to this.
Oh, nice.
I'll say, you could be wrong. Mike could correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but either way, it's a similar one, I'm sure. Yeah, this is the Newcastle. Sorry, I'm doing all the explainer. But it's the Newcastle City thing.
You know this game more than I do, so go ahead. That's the reason I brought you in here, because I know the game somewhat, but like I said, I'm usually a Driver 2 speedrunner. This is usually Driver 2 is what I do mostly. I decided to not do it this year, because like, let's be real, we've done Driver 2 to death at this point. It's been shown, there's nothing much I can show about it. So I figured, I'll give Viper a break and not do Driver 1 this year. I'll do it for him instead.
To be fair, it's nice to see someone do Driver and it not be me. I mean, I know I saw you do Driver 2, but you're pretty good at Driver 2. So I was like, there's no point me doing it because you can do it better.
Yes,
anyway, yeah. Basically, they decided that they were going to make, as I said before, so they had the 4 cities and the soundtrack that you can hear that's playing in the credits right now. That's the soundtrack I was on about, the one that's not played in the regular soundtrack. Just as a mention, actually, whilst we're quickly on the topic, to kind of plug another marathon that's also driving based. So there's the Driver Marathon. The Driver community has a marathon going on in mid-June. I think it's June 15th to June 16th.
I had to look at the date.
June 16th, 17th, something like that.
We're both the mod of this thing. We should know that.
Exactly, yeah. That's mid-June, and if you want to participate in that and you want to learn, you can learn. If you want to learn a driver game, now's a great time to start doing it. And obviously, yeah, we do have that event going for driver games and stuff like that. Yes, that even includes friggin' Java games and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll do it all.
The driver series.
I love it ends with a crash.
Yeah, I don't think he does, but yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna go over to a quick intermission, and then when we come back, we'll have the closing speech and round out and sum up the McRaeathon 2024 event. So I'll hand it back over to Tech, and we'll be back very, very shortly. See you soon.